promise not to lie in not one of these verses.
So, welcome to part 2 of the Multiversary, episode 3 of MultyVersesMadness. So, what had happened was I kept getting calls during the last video, so went ahead and stopped it to go ahead and just do a part 2. Why not? It's a good story, huh? So, where I left off was about being proud of the band for their hard work, which is why we went ahead and did an event, being the first headliners. I went ahead and had talked about how I called Kuna, and she was a part of it. So that first event was crazy, yo. So let's get to the day of. I believe I had a gig either the day before or the day after. The day before, because that happened on a Monday, which Mondays are my favorite day of the week, and hence why every episode of MultyVersesMadness takes place on Mondays, Monday Night Raw, etc., etc., etc. So we had we get there the day of the event, or I get there. The venue, like the location, they didn't know what was going on. The workers, but I talked with the owner who did know. And so I had my godfather. So we're there, or I get there, and it's like the area in which I'm supposed to be having the band perform in is it's like stuff there, there's tables, there's already like instruments and drums and stuff set up, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, yeah, no. So I call them like, do they even know? Because they looking around all confused and stuff. Like, they don't know what the haps is. And we actually did know diggity, hence me saying that. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time just moving stuff around, like rearranging their furniture to make room for the band in a way that made the most sense as possible. That took itself like an hour, just about, because it was just me. Nobody's there because I wasn't expecting to have to be moving furniture around. And then I got into setting up the equipment and stuff for a full band. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4 vocalist, drums, keys, guitar, and bass. Which is nothing of out of the usual, but I had to set it all up myself and move furniture, mostly moving the furniture and stuff around so it can make sense visually and aesthetically. But got it done under the wire, and that should be a theme, under the wire, for this stuff. But got it done under the wire, and I'm there, and I'm getting stuff set up, or stuff's been set up, and we're just about to get ready to start. Then I get another phone call. I get another phone call from I think Pay called me. Pay called me, and actually, the order in which this happened, I don't clearly remember right now. As I've been finding peace with myself in current times, and just a lot of the stuff that's been going on, and if you pay attention, you know what I'm talking about, which, trust me, I'll get to. I've been able to find peace, and I've noticed in that peaceful realization, I'm starting not to hold on to certain memories of certain things to recollect, because the whole reason why I started to like deliberately want to remember things was to make sure don't nobody got me up, you know? At some point in time, I got a call asking was I gonna be there because of the sound and stuff, and they didn't have the sound guy there at the second location where Kuna was performing. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what? And then I'm still like, what? So then I'm like, okay. So I made a call to my friend Nate. And Nate ended up coming through at the last minute and making it to the second location where Kuna was performing to do the sound. And then was Nate's there and stuff like that, get called about like, because it's like analog really, so like, hey, I need to figure out how to do the aux of the analog. I'm like, I'm about to start right now. I have faith in you. I believe in you. You can do it, Nate. And Nate got it done. Don't know if Nate made another call to like Mike or anything like that, but possibly. But even if not, like, it don't matter. Like, I have faith in Nate. I wouldn't have made that call for that person if I didn't believe in him. But Nate got it done. You go. So I get a call for that had happened. It was a couple other things. It was just like, what? I'm stressing. I'm starting to like stress or whatever. But then I was like, it's fine. Where there's a kill, there's a way. And the event happened. Pay was there, Kuna was there, Nate was there. Some people showed up. It was we got her done. And let me go out back in my location. So we was there. It was nerves. They were nervous. And it was a learning experience for us all. But all in all, we held our own. We did our thing. Moving forward from that event, we knew where the mistakes were, and we did what we had to do to correct them. So it didn't get in. It couldn't be. We didn't regress. We didn't go backwards. We didn't get worse, but get better. Because the whole point and purpose of the affiliation, for short, for a Great Chicago Fire Events Reels affiliation. The whole point and purpose of the affiliation is it's a training ground, essentially. It's a training ground, but it's its own other thing in its own echelon as well at the same time, simultaneously. That was redundant, you see. But nonetheless, it's a training ground, but it's more than that too. And soon people will see that. You all will get that. You all will feel that. And those who, I said soon people will, but there are a handful of those who already see it now. And a lot of those people are the ones that have streaming shows. And not just that, they are the ones that you see often at these events. Not because they are my friends or on board, because there's a few of them that were not my friend before last year, or I did not know before last year, or had not worked with or crossed paths before last year. And for me, it's about passion. I don't view it as a friendship thing. I view it as a passionship thing. Because that's what matters to me in this, because the passion equals the longevity that's needed in this, which is why the people that are a part of the band are the people that are a part of the band. I'm not saying that other people didn't have passion, but these individuals have passion, and they understand the vision that I'm trying to push and get out there. And I am I have a different approach to things and see things differently. But they understand the path that I'm on. Like, they see it. They're aware of it. And I thank you all for that greatly, and I appreciate you all. Because even though this came out a week after the Multiversary, as I'm going to call it. Don't know why that never popped in my head before. I don't know. Wasn't the timing. But January 31st is officially the Multiversary, because it's multiple anniversaries. for that deal with me, but it's not just me. It went from just me to beyond me. One of the lyrics in my friend Viridian's song is I put that on God, then I go beyond. So yeah, it's beyond me. If you know, you know. I am Loki. That rhymed. Yeah, it's the anniversary of I put out my first ever single in 2015. Also created my first company at the age of 19. The single's I Am Legendary. Like, even the jacket that I got on says Legendary. And then we got what's the other anniversary? The other anniversary is the madness. Thank you so much, Gorge.
Oh, Daddy.
Is the company. Oh, the company. Yeah. The company 2015 put out the single. And the other anniversaries are the establishment of AGCFera, as well as the birth and creation of Multy, the Phoenix Warrior, and I did that at 13, age of 13. Actually, no, that's wrong. That was at 11. Yeah, and I did that at the age of 11, but fully manifested and combined that with music wholeheartedly and just solidified it in what year is that? That was 2009, I believe. So when I was 13. Hence 13 being so synonymous with me. Not even just because M is the 13th letter. And it's funny because my daughter Makaya's name starts with an M too. Starts with an M. So yeah, the Multiversary. A lot of things culminate. And then ironically, more things took place this year to add to the Multiversary. The piece that I spoke of earlier, conversation took place in which I was able, because this isn't just behind the scenes, this is me versus the madness and the madness of my life, not just in the events, but in a way that could hopefully be used as motivation for everyone who watches to or maybe even a blueprint as a person living life, to notice the red flags, which is part of why the logo for Multiverse Madness is a flag, and there is red in the flag, because I'm going to be talking about the red flags that come up in everyday life and people that you meet as well, and as well as those in business too, but I got some for that and talk about with that one there. But so a conversation took place that opened that further, just blew down the door for me and confirmed that I should just let go of a certain someone. Oh, this may look familiar because this tiara is the one that Angel wore when we got married, and you would see it in the and the promos for Mind Our Business, which is the reality show that she and I had got together to start and air. But there was a confirmation as far as the from God through to let me know, like I'd been talking to God and I ask for signs often, throughout my whole entire career, actually, in life, especially in my love life. But to show me, it's dealing with people, to show me that a person could be better than those that came before them, better than their past mistakes. Because people can all the time tell you they want to work with you, they want to do business with you, they want to be in a relationship with you, they want to build with you, but until they take accountability and ownership for the damage that they've done, don't get me wrong, you also have to do the same. And I always do, and always do. I have my entire life, because I know how important that is. But when someone looks you in the face and tells you that they're not sorry for their actions, for ruining things, for damaging things, not just one incident, but years worth of incidents and actions, and just lies and betrayals, and they say they're not sorry for it, then that is literally God saying, there you go. And if that didn't happen that day, I would not have received it. If that didn't happen on the anniversary, January 31st, specific date of the Multiversary, I would not have received that at all. I wouldn't have even heard it, and I know for a fact that I wouldn't have heard it. But because it happened that day, it didn't even really hurt. It didn't hurt. Not in a way that it probably would have or could have or should have, but it didn't hurt. It was a relief, and it sucks to say, but it was, because it was a confirmation. I've been praying for this thing, and then what I got was the opposite of the specific thing I've been praying for. Because I'm a person of many chances, apparently, so it's been said to me. And from what I've noticed, too. But I did all I could. I did all and more. But for it to have happened on that day, and then be met with, like, such vile response to my being, like, done, because there's nothing more I can do, was even more of a confirmation. And it is disheartening, but it came with more peace. And, like, it's beautiful, you know? It sucks, but it's beautiful. Not many people go into a business creation or start, or even a marriage with the intent of it not working. Like, or at least they shouldn't. Nobody should go into it with the idea of, I'm going to get what I can get out of this while I can. And then when I feel some type of friction, whether it be friction or, like, if you invest in this company, or friction of if you partner with them, it could grow your business. you may have to like change your name or add your name or add their name to it or whatever the case may be, but it's like you want to be like, oh, it's my business, I built it from the ground up. But is that going to help your employees? Is that going to help your family? Same thing with marriage. Like, a certain type of friction to help you grow as an individual, and that friction, because you do have to, not necessarily, well, this is different. It's different thought process with this. You have to lose yourself. Not really. You're not losing. Everyone focuses on losing and what's changing and what you're not anymore, instead of looking at what you are becoming. And that is, you become one with another person. It's a merger, just like it's a business merger. And it's to help grow and expand and be a more profitable business, just like in a marriage is more profitable. And I'm not talking financial wise. It could be, it couldn't be. I'm talking about fruitful, like your spirit, like what it does, what it increases, and even life wise, like your world changes, depending on who you go into business with, depending on who you marry, and in this case, it's I made a statement in the New Age platform pilot episode, which you all should go check out, where with me, I mean, I'm not easy, as far as when it comes to, I'm not easy when I'm disrespected. I'm not easy to deal with. When I'm cheated, I'm not easy to deal with, because I'm not gonna let it fly. No one should. When a wrong takes place, I'm not letting it fly, because no one should. I'm gonna confront it, and I'm gonna do my best to rectify it and deal with it before anything has to escalate to or be held in causing something to escalate. Meaning somebody being fired, or even divorce, or even having to move and be kicked out or whatever. But not everybody tries and tries again. I'm patient in that regard. I've been patient. I got a 21 year career, and I've patiently learned everything that I needed to learn, and then some, in order to have that. That's why I can't just say I did this one thing. It's arts, music, and entertainment. That is my career. And then we can go into the specifics of what I do in it. But I'm a student of the game, of the industry. Same thing when it comes to like a lot of life things. Like I've tried to learn mistakes of those who came before me, to try not to repeat them. Because it's important to know where you come from, not just because I didn't want to repeat their mistakes or their moves and actions, but just because it's important to know where you came from and how everyone got to this point in time where they are today. And even with that side, I've been around for 8 years. I've been on the other side of the phone for years. Heard everything, heard a lot of things, I'll say. And just been talked to about a lot, and being that listener. And a bond was formed, just like you could do with business, you form a bond. And it should help with the process. But after a while, some people forget about that bond because they see this, or they see somebody else that they think can offer a better business deal for them or whatever. But again, it's about longevity. It's not just the moment with me. Nothing in my life, nothing in my mental is only ever about the moment. Even with raising my child, I don't think about just getting to the next day or we going at it day by day, or just spending this moment. Like, it's longevity. even with raising her, because I'm thinking about her mentality when she get older. And as long as I do my part as her parent to make sure there are certain things instilled in her that prevent her becoming another seed planted in this world that's pro destruction, basically. Because the generation of kids that was raised by the great grandmas is we dying out, we thinning out. And those of us that are here, we need to implement that same teaching to our kids, and a lot of us do. But we also got to be the ones that actually received it well, and there's only a few of us. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, there's only a few of y'all that y'all know is y'all grandma's kid, for real. And y'all got that game, that knowledge, that feel, but like y'all know, like, yeah, it takes a village, but come on now, we know who raised you. I was fortunate enough to be raised by not just my great grandma, but my mom and my grandfather, and my favorite grandma as well. Like, I'm their fourth child, as the saying goes. But even though that's could be a beautiful thing, I don't want that for my kid. I don't. I want her to be raised by her parents. I want those to be the influences. Not even the influence, but the raising influences in her life. Because she's a lot like her mother and myself. She got all our good qualities and our bad qualities. And the fact that she's just like us both isn't necessarily a good thing. And I say that because I know how I was before I turned, let's say, maybe 17. I was aware of how I was fully by the time I was 13, but it still took me some years, like by the time I turned 17, to actually get a lot under control, and just shift myself, rearranging myself, or reinventing myself, and been able to do that. But definitely, January 31st, 2023, there's another Multiversary added to that, and that would be the conversation that I had with Angel. It's not necessarily, wasn't like a wholeheartedly good conversation, like we're gonna make this thing work like was promised going into this year, but it was it can't. And I am okay with that, in the sense that God finally answered that prayer, and I gotta accept it. I won't force it no other way. And I am having to be okay with the fact that I have a daughter who's always asking and waking up dreaming about mommy and daddy being together again and being happy. But in time, that'll handle itself. I just keep reminding her that we both love her, and play Mockingbird. But because she is my little Mockingbird. But I'm not sure if I'm going to air all of this, because I didn't want this to actually go this way. It just happened naturally, hence this being unscripted. But it's the madness that I'm facing right now. that was the end of that, though, of that story involving her. But there are good parts too, which will come up in the show as the series goes on. That involves my first wife, Angel. Yeah, it's some good stuff. Cause she played some parts in me kind of doing this stuff. As far as being like a little bit of the drive behind like why I did some of this. Like even a Valentine's event coming up. Which get your tickets. Get your tickets. And some events that happened last year too. But yeah, I am now done discussing the multiversaries. And now we look onward towards the next events that followed after the January 31st event last year. So, get ready. Get set. No.